Today we'll be discussing 5 heroes that I think are particularly strong in patch 7.27. The reasons for them being strong are 3. 1. Tower changes. 2. Item cost changes. And 3. Outpost changes. Welcome everybody, my name is Navitz, represent my esports team, the Sploosh Troop, and this video today is brought to you on behalf of Gamers Class. All kinds of things happen in 7.27, quite a few changes if we look through them. However, most of them were item changes, and there was one other big change that I think affected the carry position. I'm going to talk about that real quick. It's right here. Tier 1 tower attack speed increasing, however, the base damage was reduced. So overall, they do the same DPS, but the towers do less damage per hit, and what that means is that it's become a lot easier to last hit under tower. Second big thing that has changed is the Battle Fury and Manta have become cheaper, significantly cheaper. So the Battle Fury is now 4,180 gold to complete. The components have changed a little bit and it's become cheaper overall. And we take a look at our Manta. Manta is 4,600 gold to complete now. The ultimate orb is cheaper, and the Manta. So this makes heroes who buy Battle Fury and Manta a little bit better. We'll get into that in a second. And last but not least, another change that is really important is the Outposts. Outposts can no longer be stolen by the other team until they kill one of your tier 2 towers. So this, in conjunction with some of the other changes in previous patches that made tier 2 towers significantly stronger, make it very hard for the enemy team to control your side of the map because they can't control your outpost anymore until they actually get that tier 2 tower. So tier 2 towers stay up longer because of the changes from before, and since they stay up longer, we have the ability to farm safely for a little bit longer, which makes some of our late game carries a lot better this patch. The first hero on our list of carry heroes that I think is really strong would be Ursa. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the updated guides or the updated ways to play Ursa, you're no longer going for a morbid mask very early. I mean, sometimes you can, but the casual way or the better way to play Ursa now, at least the agreed upon way from most of the high level players, is to buy a Battle Fury. So what you're gonna do is get yourself power treads, go into your Battle Fury, then you're gonna buy S and Y, then you're gonna get either an Abyssal or a Satanic. And since Battle Fury's gotten cheaper, it means that Ursa is a little bit better in terms of his timings. He can get his Battle Fury around 14 to 15 minutes if he has a good lane, good game, and he also still has the ability to kill early and really strong early game potential. So Ursa is definitely one of the heroes that you will want to play if you are a carry player. Hero number 2 is going to be Spectre. The reason Spectre is really strong is not just because of the fact that he is a good late game carry and it's a bit easier for him to get farm on the map, which is true, but because of, take a look at this item, the Helm of Iron Will. Why does Spectre have a Helm of Iron Will? I'll tell you why. It's because he's buying a Helm of the Dominator, and he's going to use his Helm of the Dominator to farm. This seems to be the new Spectre meta. I've seen quite a few people doing it. I don't know how well it's going to go. However, even if you don't go Helm of the Dominator, you can still go Soul Ring into Radiance, or you can go with something a little bit different, maybe drums into Radiance, or maybe you go blade mail into Radiance. But either way, Helm of the Dominator is a really good way to play it because it makes you so strong in lane. 5 armor and 5 HP regen is really good. It's also why I highly recommend these items on Beastmaster and Lycan, which I don't think have been nerfed as hard as everyone else thinks they've been nerfed, and I'll talk about that later. But this makes Spectre really good early game. It gives him additional abilities to farm. He can dominate creeps and farm the jungle with them while going to lane. He can stack with his dominated creep. There's a lot of potential for this, and as you can see here, it's very easy for him to last hit under tower if the creeps end up under there. Hero number 3 is none other than our tried and true carry boy, Anti-Mage. And the reason for Anti-Mage being extremely powerful was the Battle Fury timing that I was talking about. You see this game, 13 minutes and 40 seconds, around 13:40, he has his Battle Fury delivered to him. Now, while his team is behind 7-14 and the enemy team has a 3k net worth at this point, it doesn't really matter when your Anti-Mage gets such a fast Battle Fury without them being able to put pressure on him. Also, with the fact that Necro Book has got a little less picked up by other heroes such as Queen of Pains and Position 4s of that and other heroes of that nature, you'll notice that Anti-Mage doesn't get forced out of lane as much. You'll also notice that since the enemy team can't go to the outpost or can't take over the outpost, Anti-Mage will be able to more safely farm his jungle for larger periods of time. So Anti-Mage is now a very fast Battle Fury timing hero again. I suspect that they will change this in the short future, because this happened a couple patches ago. I don't remember exactly which patch it was, but they made Battle Fury pretty cheap, and then for a few weeks everyone picked Anti-Mage non-stop, and then they made Battle Fury a little bit more expensive again. So I think we're going to see some changes to that. Like, I also think we're going to see some changes to Dominator, but for now Battle Fury is really cheap, and then also Manta is 100 gold cheaper. So these two items are fantastic. They're natural build-ups, almost essential builds on Anti-Mage. You very rarely see people go with different builds, although sometimes you will see people go for Battle Fury, Sanjin Yasha, split up the Sanjin Yasha into a Halberd and a Manta on Anti-Mage, but that's a story for a different day. This hero is fantastic for carrying, and you can go ahead and pick him pretty safely in a lot of games, as long as you know how to farm relatively well. Hero number 4 will be the easiest hero on this list to play, and that is none other than Wraith King. So as we can see, this Wraith King has a Radiance already farmed at 18 minutes, and he's about 660 gold on his way to his next item, which is going to be the Shadow Blade. And it's kind of interesting what's been happening here. So people were going for power treads instead of phase boots. However, now that the Blitz Knuckles exist and you build your Shadow Blade out of Blitz Knuckles, and you also build an MKB out of Blitz Knuckles, people have been starting to switch into the phase boots for Wraith King. The Radiance is still there. You farm your Radiance. The farming patterns are very simple. Get yourself your stacks of Mortal Strike, go to your lane, cast Mortal Strike as often as you can, let your skeletons push out waves, you farm the jungle, you safely farm, and get super far ahead by about the 25-minute mark, and then at the 25-minute mark you just kind of steamroll against the enemy team. So very easy strategies with Wraith King. Typical build, Radiance Halberd. New build that people have been going for that I like is Radiance into Silver Edge. For those who don't know, Silver Edge was changed. It's built out of an Echo Saber. Super good on Wraith King because he's got Mortal Strike, critical damage, awesome, and also because of the Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade great for escape, Shadow Blade great for initiation, and now it gives a lot of attack speed, which is something you really want on Wraith King. So I think this hero has a lot of potential in the current patch with the new items and the new ways to play. And the last hero on the carry recommendation list from me to you today is Rikimaru, our stealth assassin, Mr. Nobody Can See Me after level 6 unless you have detection, which in lower levels lots of people don't. Fantastic hero. He will typically buy, well, not typically, sometimes he buys Battle Fury, which we talked about being cheaper. Sometimes he buys Manta, which we also talked about being cheaper. He'll usually go for a Diffusal Blade first, and he's not that strong until he gets to Diffusal Blade, but we talked about already how in this patch it seems to be a little bit easier to get your first item of farm, so that's nice for Riki. He can get his Diffusal and then start hunting heroes around the map. He really comes alive in the mid game. Usually when he gets his second or third item, that's when he becomes like a, oh no, how do I deal with this hero kind of problem. So Riki is the last recommendation on the hero list for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will leave you guys with some honorable mentions. That would be Juggernaut, Terrorblade, Lifestealer, Troll. They build Manta, they build Radiances, they build Battle Furies. That's why I think they are strong. Anyways, hopefully you guys win every single game you play in the future, unless you play against me, of course. I hope you have a great day. One love, everybody.